we are going to start with the magic ring. So single stitch 6 in the magic ring. Now we are going to increase until we go to 12. So increase 6 times. Now that we have 12, we're going to increase to 18. So single stitch 1, increase, do that 6 times. 6 single stitch and increase it. Now that we increased to 18, we are going to single stitch around, or single crochet around 18. So just do single crochet 18. And I like to use my little tail as a marker so I know where I started. So now we go and we do 18. So now that we did our single crochet 18 all around, we're going to increase to 24. So single crochet 2, increase 6 times. Okay, so now that we have 24, we are going to do the next 3 rows of 24. So take out your marker. Now that you know where 24 is, mark it there. This is my cheap marker. I always use the tail, the little tail. We are going to do 24. 3 times, single row 6 to row 8. So make sure from now on we are going to do under the hook, yarn under. That means we go in, yarn under, and then we're going to do 24 that way. Yarn under, that's 2. Do yarn under all 3 rows. Now that we finished our 3 rows of single stitch 24, so we're done with row 8, we're going to switch to white. And for this, we're going to use the same hook. So we're going to switch on the back row, or back loop only. To switch, we grab the old color, and then you finish the loop with the new color. So this is counts as your first stitch. So this is single stitch 1. And now you're going to do 7. So 6 more. And you are going to do all these in the back loop only. So do 6 more single stitch, yarn under, back loop only. So that would be 2, even though you just see 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're going to switch to color again. And to do that, we're going to go under, start with the white, and then continue with our color. And make sure you cut, grab your scissors and cut your white, and make sure you had cut your color already so you can grab it again. I already cut it, so now I grab my color. And this first loop that comes through, this counts as 1, so single stitch 1. And now we're going to go all around, and we're going to do single stitch 17. All normal, neither outer loop nor inner loop, just normal. So that was 1, and now we do 2, but still yarn under. So I'll do 15 more. Make sure you do 17 total. First one does count. Okay, now that we did 17, cut your yarn, your color yarn, and we are going to grab our white again. So grab your white. Oh, start on the outer loop with the color yarn and finish with the white yarn. Make sure you pull all the loose ends so it tightens it up. And then this time you're just gonna do normal. You're not gonna do it on the back loop. You're just gonna crochet normal, but make sure you're still doing yarn under. So this is one. We're going to do yarn under. This is two, even though it's the first one that you see white. We're going to do 7 again. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you get to 7, we are going to switch to color. So cut your yarn. Make sure you cut the color from before. And on the outer loop, we're going to switch. So you go under, grab the white, and finish with your color. And this is your first stitch. And once again, we're gonna go all around 17. So this is 1, so 16 more. And just normal, neither front loop nor back loop. Make sure your tail is under. There we go. Pull all your loose ends to tighten the stitches. Go under. And let's do 16 more. Okay, now that you did 17 total, we're going to switch back to white. So on the outer loop, grab the color and finish with the white. So there you go, 1, and we're gonna do 7 again. So just continue doing the, oh, I didn't cut the color. Continue doing the rest. So on the outer loop, you start with white, make sure you cut it, and grab your color. Okay, so this would be 1. Make sure you tighten up all your knots again. This would be 1. Next one, 2. Keep doing yarn under. Again, 17. So that's 1. I got to do 16 more. So now that you're done with row 13, you did all your rows of white and everything, we're going to continue the next one all in color, and we are going to do it on the inner loop. So you will do these on the inner loop of this white, and then the rest you don't have to do on the inner loop, you can do just normal. So you do single stitch, we'll do 8 so that you go all the way to the first color one, and then all the rest, the single stitch 16, we'll do just normal. And still continue doing yarn under. So this one we're gonna do on the inner loop or front loop only. Yarn under. So these ones we will do on the front loop. this one I'll do it on the front loop as well, the first color. And then we're just gonna continue single stitching these just the normal way, but still yarn under. Okay, now that we finished row 14, we are going to start decreasing. So we're going to do single stitch 2, decrease, single stitch 2, decrease 6 times. And just normal, as in neither front row nor back row, just normal under your stitch, but still yarn under. Now that we are at 18 and we finished row 15, we are going to flip this inside out. Just make sure you're, well, I'm gonna make this really big, just in case I end up losing my hook and pulling the yarn and undoing everything. Okay, flip it inside out. All right, this is what you have so far. And now we are going to decrease. I don't know how it looks on the camera because sometimes it reverses it. I was crocheting counterclockwise to begin with, like going this way. Now I'm gonna continue this way, which is clockwise, now that it's inside out. So we're going to decrease, single stitch 1, decrease 6 times until we are down to 12. I'm still doing yarn under. Okay, so now that we are down to 12, we are going to place the eyes at this time. I'm going to pick the 5mm one. So these are 3mm, 3 or 2, they're very tiny because this egg is very tiny. And these are 7. As you can see, they're a little bigger. So I do have a size in between. Depends on the size of your egg. And these are 5, they're a little bit smaller. So I'm going to put 5 on this one. And this longer side is the bottom of your Tamagotchi, and this shorter side is we're just decreasing now, so this side's gonna be shorter, so that's the top. So basically on your hook it's upside down. So place the eyes closer to, if you're like this, to the bottom on this side. But what you just crocheted is bottom of your Tamagotchi where the buttons will go. So make sure the eyes are placed correctly. I'm going to put them, let's see, we got 4 rows, so I'm going to put them right here, second from the bottom. Because I like the kawaii style, which is usually lower, on the lower part of the head. And then we're going to count 4 stitches apart. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or just make sure it's at the same distance. It's like 1 from the edge. Like you skip 1 and then you put the eyeball. Remember to fix it like a dog's cone when they get fixed. With the wider side facing out. Now that both eyes are secure, now we're gonna do the stuffing. Now that it's all stuffed, we're going to decrease 6 times. If your yarn starts getting really tight and you can't do the invisible decrease, just skip one and then do your single stitch. That's still decreasing. So basically this is just closed now. So I'm going to go. Okay, when you're done decreasing, cut your yarn. I usually pull up, and then so it doesn't have this cone head like his. Go in through the back or anywhere really. Anywhere you see an opening. I'm going in through the back, and I'm going to pull this in. Yes, some of the stuffing will come out, you just cut it. So now that you pull it, see it gets rid of that cone head. Cut it. And there we go. For the mouth, you can do two things. You can either cut a little piece of black felt and a little piece of red felt and glue them on top of each other like this. You like the little mouth shape. Or you can just sew a black line like this. You just have to use black embroidery thread, that's up to you. For the mouth, we are going to use black embroidery floss or black embroidery thread. We cut about 10 to 15 inches, although that's quite a bit, but we're gonna use literally 1 centimeter for the mouth. But it's just easier for the needle to go in and out. If the thread is longer, use your needle threader. Okay, so what I do is I knot one side, make that side longer. And then I'll go in to the mouth. Usually I try and find an opening that's kind of big, like the bottom, so that the knot can go in easy. I think I'll do it a little bit higher. Like right in between. So pull it in. Make sure pull that knot in. There you go. And about 5 millimeters later, you pull it back in. You can either do 2 lines if you'd like, and so your needle will have to come out right in the same spot, or I just do 1 line and I come out either the back. I just do 1 line of thread. So I'm gonna come out the back. If you want it to smile, just pull it down a little bit. And you can put like a little dot of glue there at the bottom. Or if you want them serious, then you can just tighten it. The mouth, I don't usually make any knots. It just goes in and out, and I cut. Because it's so tiny. If you want to make eyelashes, you go in the bottom, out the eye, right? You do a little line right here, out here, in here, then you go in and you come out right here on the other side of the eye. Let's say you come out first at 9 o'clock and then you make a line that's about 1 stitch of width. So you go in and then you come out like at 11 o'clock and then you do another line that's 1 stitch of width. And then you go in and you come out and do the same thing on this side. That's how I do eyelashes. Now that we're done with our egg, we are going to do the little frame that goes around the screen. As you can see on this one, I used pink. And for this guy, I used black. It does like a little 3D raise thing. Or you can use the same yarn. For this one, I use the same color yarn. So this one, since it's blue and pink, I think I'm going to use my blue embroidery floss. So you grab your 2.5mm hook, and this is how you do it. You're going to find the corner where you're going to start. So I'm going to start right here. Then you put your hook in there. Come out the top here. Like that. Loop this and pull a loop out. Oh my god, it's slipping. So we're gonna grab the loop and we are going to pull it out. Okay, and then we're going to do a single crochet and tighten it, and then we're going to do a single crochet all around this top edge right here. This is how you do it. You go in and the next hole out right on the edge where the two colors meet. Pull and do a single crochet. Then you go in on the same place, out the next. So it's kind of like sewing. And do single crochet in right here, out the next, and I'm doing yarn over for this one. It doesn't really matter if it's yarn over or yarn under. Go in, out, in. So when you get to the corner, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's about 6 because I'm not there yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for me it was 6. When you get to the corner, do a chain 1 and then do the same thing. Put your hook in the corner, out, and now we're going downward. And you're going to do the same on all 4 sides. You do a chain 1 right when you get to the corner. You go in right where your embroidery floss is coming out. And keep going all the way down the edge. It's a little scary because this is where we did the color switches. So it feels a little loose sometimes. One step I forgot, oh my god. It's a good tip, you don't have to, but before you flip inside out, you can tie all the loose ends and make a knot so that it keeps it just tighter. I forgot to do that. There were just so many loose ends, I just left them, but usually when you switch a color, it's a good idea to knot it if you're gonna flip it inside out. Okay, now that I'm at the corner, I'm going to do a chain, and then I'm going to go that way. You could always adjust this pattern to however you like. You could do the screen much bigger and just do more rows of white. Or you could do it smaller. Now that you know the pattern, you can adjust it how you like. Okay, now that I'm at the corner, I'm going to chain one and go up. Sometimes you feel the spaces between your sewing are much wider. Like, whoa, this row feels bigger than the other one. But that's okay. Okay, when you get here, if you have a little gap at the end, just do, if you're at the corner, so I'm gonna do one more. I'm right at the edge. I'm going to do a chain right here, and then I'm going to go back and finish it right here. And it looks like if you want to overlap it with the last one, that's fine. Just make sure there's no open edges. Okay, so we connect the last one, and then you will cut. Just pull it out. I'm gonna do a little knot with the first and the last thread. But I'm going to hide both those loose ends on the inside of the body. Okay, we're gonna pull that on the inside of the body. Pull it out. Same thing with the other loose ends. And then just cut, even with a little bit of fuzz that came out. Okay, now that your little egg is done with the edges, we are going to do the buttons. I'm going to use this for the buttons. So with the 2.5 hook, what we're gonna do is basically single stitch 8 in the magic ring, and then we're gonna do single stitch 8 again for the next row, and that's basically it. It's just 2 rows of single crocheting 8. I say single stitch, single crochet, same thing. So here we go. Leave about 7-8 inches to sew it onto the little egg. Cut the yarn, and then this is what it looks like. Put that middle thread through the center, pull it through. You just, with your yarn needle and your threader, you sew it right here. So make 3 of these. First I'm going to show you with this one how I sew it on the body. That way you can go ahead and make the other 2. Pull it through the body real quick. Where do I want it? You want them right here on the left side. Okay, this one I just need. So this is the center thread, like the one that's left before you start. Okay, and this is my last thread. And this is the one I use for sewing. You can use either one for sewing it doesn't matter. But it's always easier to use the one you end with, because sometimes the little tail at the beginning is too short. So you just go in and then back out with your needle, and then you go inside your button and then back in the button in the body, and then come out anywhere underneath, like I'm coming out diagonal. It's very hard to come out right next to it because the yarn is so thick. You have to come out a little bit further. Imagine a clock, like you go in at 3 o'clock, you come out at 6 o'clock. Okay, now that you come out, you go in the button from underneath. Alright, my camera died mid sewing the button. So as we were doing, put the needle inside the button and then inside your amigurumi. Oh, my light is falling. And then you come out, you go back in the button. Then to knot it, basically you just go inside the button and out from under. You can go out under the button without going in the yarn. Make a little knot like this, and then you go. I always go with the butt of the needle out the loop. That's how I knot it, so it's not loose. And then I basically hide the yarn inside the body, out anywhere, and cut. In the same way, we're going to attach all 3 buttons. So have all 3 of yours ready. Now we're going to do the ears. This is very simple. You simply do a chain 4. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we are going to turn and single crochet 3. Second from the hook, obviously you can do it on the very first hook. So 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to chain 1 and turn and do single crochet 2. 1, 2, and then chain 1 and turn. And then we are going to do single crochet 1, but don't do it on the second from the hook. Do it on the third one, or the last one. You just do 1, and then you're going to chain 1 and fasten off. So cut it and this is what you got. You have a little triangle. And don't worry about the jaggedy edges. To fix that, we do a little edge with the same yarn. You don't crochet on the flat edge where we did like our chain. You crochet just the A shape. Boop, boop. This A or V shape. So you go in the one of the corners, the bottom corners, put your hook through. You can use the same one, or if you have a smaller one, you can use a smaller one. Grab a loop with the yarn, and then we're just going to single crochet all around. This makes the edges really smooth. Oops, I pulled it out. So we just go in, single crochet all around the edge. This doesn't matter if it's yarn over or yarn under. I'm doing yarn over right now. Two on the top so that it's easier to turn. And then down the other side. All the way to the bottom, make sure you're all the way at the corner. I think I need one more. And then fasten off, leave about 10 inches for sewing. Pull it. And this is what it looks like. You got a little triangle. Now all these loose ends we're going to hide inside the body. So this first one that's at the top, you're gonna zigzag it all the way down. You can cut it right here and then burn the tip with a lighter, or just to be safe, I usually grab it and like I zigzag it. I go in and out and then out until I go all the way to the bottom, and also hide it in the body. All the way to the bottom. Especially if it's the same color or crazy like this one, you're not gonna see it coming down. It's better if you do it on the edges too. What I mean by that is you come down this way, like in out the edge. Not right down the middle. But as you can see, you don't see it. So now that you have all your threads at the bottom or at the end, you start putting them through the body with your needle and out the back. This is my second ear, so I gotta make sure that it's like at the same height as the first one. So I think I'm gonna place it right around here. Okay, so we are going to put all the loose ends inside the head. Maybe a little curved a little bit. This one, so I'm gonna go inside the head and out the back of the head. Well, I guess the whole thing is in the head. I should say the egg, not the head. Then we go inside the ear, out the front. In the ear, down the egg, the back of the egg, and then in the ear, through the back of the ear, out the front of the ear and under. And here I'm gonna do my knot. So for the knot, I'm going to just I'll do like I'm gonna do a stitch, but then I put the butt of the needle through the loop, and then I pull. There's the knot so it doesn't all come undone or unraveled. Then I'm just gonna hide this leftover yarn out the body, or out the rest of the egg. Head, body, they're all the same. And then I'm gonna cut the loose ends. I still have one to hide. If you have space, you can color with pink the little cheeks with marker. That's what I did with this one. And if not, you don't have to add anything else. You can add a piece of yarn here and make it an ornament, or just leave it as is. Let me show you all the ones I've done so you can see all the different colors and the baby.